Hello everyone, welcome to IITN's GATE classes. So today we are in the session 3 of question revision series on circuit theory for HAL and HPCL exam. Okay, so today is our lecture number 3. So let us then begin. So today we are going to start with two-port network. Okay, so two-port networks, we are going to see what is two-port network, what are the different parameters in two-port network, and how many such two-port networks can be there. Okay, so what do we mean by a port? Port is basically input, the terminal for input and output. Okay, there can be either a one-port network. In one-port network, either we have a network, either we have an input in which I have my input current and input port voltage, or I can have what? I will be having my output port in which there will be a output current and output voltage, output terminal voltage or output port voltage. Okay, in two port basically we have our input port also and output port also. So here we have input current I1, we are denoting input current by I1, input voltage by V1, output voltage by V2, and look at this. This is my output. Okay, output current, but the direction of the output current is inside the network. It is not outside. It is inside this network. So look at the direction. It is inside the network in two-port networks. Okay. So if I want to say what is a two-port network, you can see. So this is my input current. But now suppose if I want to calculate this V2, I have a load resistance. I have a load resistance here. So what will be V2? V2 will be equal to minus I2RL. Why minus I2RL? Because the sign of V2 is like this, from positive to negative, and we know what? Current, it flows from positive to negative. So this should have been I2. So if this is minus I2, if this is the direction of plus I2, then minus I2 will be in this direction. So V2 is equal to minus I2RL. Okay, so always remember this thing whenever we want to calculate the output terminal load voltage. At that time, please take care of current. Okay, always look, the convention in two-port network is the current, the output current, it always goes inside the network. Okay, it always goes inside the network, but while calculating the output load voltage, we need to reverse this voltage, because at that time you have to follow this Ohm's law. Okay, Ohm's law. So according to Ohm's law, V2 is equal to minus I2 RL. So now based on this V1, V2, I1, I2, there are 4 parameters in any network. Okay, out of this I can choose any 2 to be my input and output. Out of the 4 parameters, I choose any 2 for one for my input and one for my output. So out of 4 parameters, if I choose to, 4C2 combinations I can make. So what is 4C2? 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial divide into 4 minus 2. So that is 2 factorial. So that will be what? 4 factorial is my 24 divided by 4. So that comes out to be 6. So in total we have 6 such parameters. Okay, 6 parameters we have. So now all those parameters are like Z parameter, Y parameter, H parameter, G parameter, ABCD or transmission parameter, or inverse ABCD parameter or inverse transmission parameter. Okay, so one by one we are going to see briefly about all these parameters. Okay, so the first thing is what? Our Z parameter. Z parameter is also known as what? My impedance parameter or open circuit parameter. Okay, so what I told, Z parameter is known as impedance parameter or open circuit parameter. So the equation for Z parameter is something like this. Okay, the equation is something like this, where V1 input port voltage V1 is equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2, and V2 is equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. So here you can see V1 is basically a function of I1 and I2. Similarly, V2 is also function of my I1 and I2. So here my set of V1 and V2, they are my output, and set of I1 and I2, they are my inputs. Now if you look at this, what are the independent variables here in this function? Independent variables are I1 and I2. What are the dependent variables? You can see V1 and V2, both of them, they depend on the values of I1 and I2 respectively. So dependent variables are my V1 and V2. Okay, so note this thing. Now one thing I want to tell you people, whenever I1 it is a function of I2, or I2 it is a function of I1, at that position I can never write Z parameter. Z parameter is undefined for such cases where my independent variables I1 and I2, they become what? They become dependent on each other. At that cases, or in that circuit, I cannot write two port equations. Okay, so note this thing also. Always in any of the parameters that we are going to see, the independent variables should be independent of each other. Okay, they should be independent of each other. So what are this Z11, Z12, Z21 and Z2? So Z11, basically if I just copy down these equations, the Z parameter equations. So tell me one thing, this V1 is equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2. Is this KVL equations or KCL equation? KVL or KCL? These are obviously my KVL equations. Why? Because it is in terms of voltage. You can see V1 equal to Z11 I1. So some impedance into I1 plus some impedance into I2. So this is my KVL equation. So also remember this. My Z parameters, they are based on KVL equations. Okay. So now look, what is Z11? Z11 is basically V1 by I1 when I2 is equal to 0, or it is known as driving point input impedance when output is open circuit. So it is driving point input impedance. Why input impedance? Because V1 by I1, so what is the ratio? If I write Z in, it is equal to V1 by I1. Okay, this is input impedance of the circuit. Now if I write Z11, it is conditional. It is conditional. And what is the condition here? When I2 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is my conditional input impedance. This is the normal input impedance of the circuit. Okay, so remember this. So Z11 is driving point input impedance when output is open circuit. Z12 is what? It is transfer input impedance when input is open circuit. Why input is open circuit? You can see I1 is equal to 0. And this is transfer input impedance. Z21 will be transfer output impedance when output is open circuited. And Z22 is similarly, it is driving point output impedance when input is open circuit. So remember this, whenever it is driving point, that means the numbers, they will be of the same port, and whenever it is transfer, the port number, it will be different. Whenever it is said input is open circuit means what? I1 is equal to 0. When output is open circuit, that means what? I2 is equal to 0. Now if I want to write it in matrix form, this is the matrix form of Z parameter. Okay, this is the basic matrix form of Z parameter. And if I want to write, I have already told you Z parameter is based on KVL equations. Okay, Z parameter is based on KVL equation. Now check here. If I want to write the model, using this Z parameter, how I will write? So you can see what V1 is equal to Z11 I1. So this is, if I start writing my KVL from here, so V1 equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2. So what is this? What is this Z12 I2? What kind of amplifier is this? This is basically current controlled voltage source. Current controlled voltage source. Okay. So we have already studied and discussed about this in our lecture number 1. You can see that in the basics of circuit theory, I have discussed each of them. So this is my current controlled voltage source. Similarly, if I look at equation number 2, equation number 2 is what? V2 is equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. So you can see V2 is equal to Z22 I2 plus Z21 I1. So this is also a current controlled voltage source. Okay. So this is an amplifier, current controlled voltage source. Okay. So Z parameter model is something like this. So this is very simple. Now if I talk about Z parameter of different circuit. So in Z parameter, I will be showing you one thing. Always write the KVL equations. Never use nodal analysis while solving for Z parameter. Always use mesh analysis. For Z parameter, I am going to write always use mesh analysis. Never use nodal analysis. Nodal analysis we were going to use in our Y parameter. Okay. So you can see what I1 current is flowing from here, I2 current is flowing from here. So this branch will have I1 plus I2. So if I going to derive this, V1, if I start writing my KVL from here, so V1 is equal to Z1 I1 plus Z2 into I1 plus I2. So if I just open this bracket, it will be what? Z1 plus Z2 I1 plus Z2 I2. Okay, Z2 I2. Similarly, if I write from the output port side, KVL from output port, so V2 is equal to Z3 I2 plus Z2 into I1 plus I2. So this will be what? Z2 I1 plus Z3 plus Z2 I2. Okay, Z3 plus Z2 I2. So if I am going to write this equation, if the Z parameter I am going to write for this T network, okay, this is my T network. So what it will be? It will be Z1 plus Z2, 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 Z1 plus Z3. So remember this circuit, these are all my standard circuit. Now what if my Z1 and Z3, the impedances are 0? So what will happen? Simply it will be what? Z2, 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 Z2. What I have done? Z1 and Z3 I have put as 0. Okay, Z1 and Z3 if I put as 0, so it will be what? So here I think it is Z2 and Z3 plus Z2. So here it will be Z2, fine. So Z2, Z2, Z2. All the elements will be what? Of the matrix will be Z2. Now come here. For this third circuit, what you see? What is the Z parameter for this circuit? Think for 10 seconds. You can see I1 is equal to minus I2. That means what? I1 is equal to function of I2. Okay, I1 is equal to function of I2. So that means what? I have told you already, if my independent variables or if my inputs of the parameters, they are dependent on each other, then the Z parameter, it will cease to exist. So Z parameter does not exist. Okay, remember this Z parameter for this circuit, for a single series element, it does not exist. So this figure is known as single shunt element, and this figure is known as single series element. Okay. Now what about Z parameter for this circuit? Z parameter for this circuit. So you know what, in a transformer V1 by V2 is equal to what? N by 1, and I1 by I2 is equal to minus 1 by N. Now note, why minus? Look at the sign of this current. In a normal transformer, my current, output current is something like this, and at that point we have I1 by I2 is equal to 1 by N. But here my output current is in this direction. Okay, so that is why minus 1 by N. So make a note of this thing. Whenever you are dealing like this, at that time you have to be extra cautious. Okay. So here also you can see I1 and I2, they have a direct relationship. So Z parameter, it doesn't exist. Okay. Z parameter will not exist for transformer circuit. Now what is the next we have is lattice network. Okay, so lattice network we have. So I have converted this lattice network like this. So how have I opened this? So simply again I am following the same method. I will be writing this port as 1. So this port as 1, this port as 2, this as 3, and this as 4. So in between 1 and 2 you can see I have Z1. So this is my 2 number port, and this is my 4th number port, and this is my 1, and this is my 3. Now if you check, you will be seeing element by element they are same. So in between 1 and 2 I have Z1. In this diagram also I have Z1. In between 1 and 4 I have Z2. So in between 1 and 4 I have Z2. You can see. In between 2 and 3 I have Z2. So you can see in between 2 and 3 I have Z2. In between 4 and 1 I have, in between 4 and 1 I have Z2. So in between 4 and 1 I have Z2. Fine. So 4 and 3 I need to check. Yeah. So between 3 and 4 I have Z1. Okay. So everything is same here. So always remember, see, this is a very brief video. Okay. I cannot derive each and every parameters. Okay. So always if you have Z parameter for a lattice network, if they ask, you can derive it. Okay, you just need to write the KCL KVL equation at this position and you will get the results. No issues. Okay, very simple thing. So directly I have written the Z parameter of a lattice network, Z2 plus Z1 divided by 2 divided by the next element is Z2 minus Z1 by 2. So this is my Z11, this is my Z12, this is my Z21, this is my Z22. Okay, so is this okay? I think this is okay. So what is my trick to remember this? I don't remember lattice network like this. Okay, for lattice network, see this Z expression, the matrix Z matrix is valid when you have, means this impedance is equal to this impedance and this impedance is equal to this impedance. If it doesn't follows this manner, then you cannot write the Z parameter matrix like this. Z matrix you cannot write like this. Only for this configuration you will be able to write. Okay, so remember this thing. Now the next parameter we have is Y parameter. So in Y parameter you can see the equation for Y parameter, okay, or admittance parameter, or it is also known as short circuit parameter, is something like this. Why short circuit? We will see. Okay, so here you can see my inputs. Input is what? Input is my V1 and V2, and output is what? I1 and I2. So output is I1, I2, input is V1, V2. Okay, so note this thing. So now what are my independent variables and dependent variables, if you tell me? So independent variables are my V1 and V2, and dependent variables are my I1 and I2. Okay, and always remember this, whenever we are writing Y parameter in a circuit, it is better to use nodal analysis. Like in Z parameter I told you mesh analysis, in Y parameter you will be using nodal analysis. It is very simple actually to then solve the circuit in terms of Y parameter. Okay, so as I was telling, this is my independent variable and this is my dependent variable. Suppose if V1 is function of V2 or V2 is function of V1, in that case for such circuit my Y parameter, it will not exist. Okay, for such circuit my Y parameter, it will not exist, where my independent variables, they are dependent on one another, or rather I can say the independent variables are not independent anymore, they have become dependent on each other. At that case my Y parameter, it will never exist. Okay. So now why it is known as short circuit, we are going to see here. So now I have just, okay, so this is Z parameter. So now this is what? This is my Y parameter. In Y parameter you can see this is I1 equal to Y11 V1 plus Y12 V2, I2 is equal to Y21 V1 plus Y22 V2. So what are this parameter names of Y1, Y11, Y12, Y21, Y22? We are going to see. So Y11 is equal to I1 by V1 when V2 is equal to 0. V2 is equal to 0 means what? V2 is equal to 0 means this is short circuit. So that is why the name short circuit parameters. Okay, you can see here any of the input voltage terminal or output voltage terminal is short. Previously in Z parameter, any one of the input current or output current was 0. Okay, input current or output current was 0. So that is why it is open, also known as open circuit parameter. Okay, and Y parameter, it is known as short circuit parameter. So this is Y11 is equal to I1 by V1. You can see what? Again the same numbers, that means what? It will be driving point input admittance. Why admittance? Because it is the ratio of I by V. Okay, so impedance is V by I and admittance is I by V. So driving point input admittance when output is short circuit, you can see Y12 as the numbers are different, so that it will be transfer. Okay, transfer input admittance when input is short circuit. I2 by V1, it will be transfer output admittance when output is short circuit, and Y22 will be I2 by V2 when V1 is equal to 0, and that is known as what? Driving point output admittance when input is short circuit. Okay. So again, these are all my conditional admittance. These are my conditional admittance. Now suppose if they ask you I1 by V2. Now what is I1 by V2? You know, this is also means this is a normal transfer impedance they are asking, sorry, transfer admittance they are asking. Okay, this is a normal transfer admittance, but the moment I do this V1 equal to 0, now this is no more my transfer admittance. Okay, now this has become Y12. Okay, this is Y12, and Y12, this is a parameter of the this is one of the Y parameters. Okay, and you can see this is conditional, but previously when I don't use this, if I remove this, this is no more a conditional admittance, this is a normal transfer admittance they are asking you. Okay, so always remember this thing also. Here you can see this is what? This is my normal KVL KCL equations I have written. These are my KCL equation. Why? I1 is equal to admittance into voltage plus admittance into voltage. Okay, so I1 is equal to Y11 V1 plus Y12 V2, I2 is equal to Y21 V1 plus Y22 V2. So Y parameter is basically based on KCL equations. Okay, so if I want to write, look here, I1 is equal to Y11 V1, you can see Y11 V1 plus Y12 V2. So what is this? What is this? This is my, both of them are voltage controlled current source. Again you can see this is an amplifier or a transfer amplifier which is actually acting as a current source, and the value of the current source is voltage dependent. So this is known as my voltage controlled current source. Okay, so this is the model, Y parameter model. Okay, Y parameter model you can see. Now let us calculate few Y parameters of different circuits. So I am going to calculate few Y parameters of different circuit. Now if you check, this is a pi network. Pi network, this is my pi network. So what I can write? If I write the KCL equation, so at this point and this point, so let me assume this is 1, this is 2. So I am writing KCL equation at port 1. So I1 plus, so this is what? V1. So V1 into YB plus V1 minus V2 into YA equal to 0. I can write it like this. So this is I1 actually, sorry. So I1 is equal to V1 YA plus YB minus YA V2. So this is I1. If I similarly write KCL equation for Y2, it will be what? Minus I2 plus V2 into YC plus V2 minus V1 by, sorry, not by, it will be multiply YA equal to 0. So I can expand this as I2 is equal to V2 into YC plus YA minus YA into V1. Okay. Now if I write the Y parameters, what it will be? Y parameters for this pi network. So it will be YA plus YB minus YA. This will be again minus YA, and this will be YA plus YC. Okay. So you can see that it is quite similar to the T network in Z parameter case. Okay, but we have a negative sign over here. Okay, very simple thing. Now for this single shunt element, tell me, single shunt element, what will be my Y parameter? Single shunt element, Y parameter will not exist. Why it will not exist? Because you can see V1 is equal to V2. Okay, so my independent variables, they have become dependent on each other. Okay, independent variables, they have become dependent. So that is why you can see this place is V1 also and this place is V2 also. So V1 should be equal to V2 for the KVL equation to get satisfied. Okay, so that is why Y parameter, it will not exist here. Now similarly for a single series element, so single series element, this is what? Look very carefully. This is my impedance. Previously in my pi network, this is valid only when these are written in the form of admittance. So star mark, whenever they are written in terms of admittance in pi network, at that time my Y matrix will be this. If it is written in terms of impedance, if this was ZA, ZB, ZC, then you would have to take an inverse to make it admittance. Okay, so at that time this equation it will not hold. Okay, so remember this thing. So here you have Z. So now I can write it like this. Here impedance is infinite. Here also impedance is infinite. That is why these are my open circuit. Open circuit means what? Impedance is infinite. So what about admittance? So admittance here will be 1 by Z, or I can write it as YA. This YB as 1 by infinite, which will be 0, and this will be YC, which is also 0. 1 by infinite is 0. So now what is my Y parameter? Y parameters for such circuit is YA plus YB minus YA minus YA, YA plus YC. So now if I write YA plus YB will be what? It will be 1 by Z minus 1 by Z minus 1 by Z and 1 by Z. Okay, so note this thing. Okay, so note this thing very carefully. So this is for a single series element. What about transformer? Transformer, is Y parameter valid? Again Y parameter, it will not be possible here. Why? Because V1 by V2 is equal to N by 1. You can see the independent variables are now have become dependent variables, or I can say inputs are actually related to one another. So that is why what? Y parameter will not exist for transformer. So this is a cross, okay? It will not exist. So this is a cross. It will not exist for transformer. Now what is the relationship between Z parameter and Y parameter? See, I am not going to derive all this, okay? I am not going to derive all this because this is a very brief session. This is like a crash course, I can say. So Y parameter and Z parameter, basically they are inverse of each other. Okay, so if I have been given Z matrix, so how do I calculate Y matrix? I will be just taking inverse of this matrix. If I take inverse of this matrix, so it will be my Y. And if I have been given Y matrix, how to calculate Z? If I just take inverse of this matrix, I will be getting my Z matrix. So this is the very simple thing that I have written. So Y matrix, it is inverse of Z inverse. So this del Z is basically the determinant of Z matrix, and del Y, it is equal to determinant of Y matrix. Okay. Now suppose I have been given a T network like this. Okay, this is my T network. So first what I will do, I will calculate its Z matrix. Okay, I will calculate its Z matrix. So what is my Z matrix for this one? You might be getting, it is what? 1 plus 3, 4, 3, 3 and 5. So this is my Z matrix. What is the inverse of this? Z inverse, if I want to calculate, it will be what? So this 4 and this 5, it will get interchanged. So this is 5 and 4, and I will be multiplying this by minus 3, and this whole will be divided by the what? Determinant. So 5 into 4, 20, 20 minus 6, that is 14. So my Z inverse matrix or Y matrix, I can say is what? Y matrix is 5 by 14 minus 3 by 14 minus 3 by 14 and 4 by 14. Fine. Now suppose if I want to calculate the Y parameter of this matrix, Y parameter for this, matrix I am saying, Y parameter for this circuit. So what I will do, I will convert this T network to an equivalent pi network. Okay, I will calculate the pi network equivalent. So I want you people to pause this and calculate the pi, means pi network, all the resistance. So what will be this? In pi network, we know what it will be, a 1-to-1 multiplication. So 1 into 2 plus 2 into 3 plus 3 into 1. And this branch, okay, for this branch, what is the opposite corresponding branch in the T network? You can see it is what? It is your 3. So divided by 3. So this is equal to what? 2 plus 6 plus 3 divided by 3. So 9, 11 by 3. So this is 11 by 3 ohm, or what? Admittance. Admittance is what? 3 by 11. So I am writing directly admittance 3 by 11 ohm inverse. What about this branch if I want to write? So this will be 11 divided by, what is the opposite branch in the corresponding T network? It is 2 ohm. So 11 by 2, if I want to write the admittance, it will be 2 by 11 ohm inverse. What about this one? It will be 1 by 11 ohm inverse. Okay, I have directly written this. I am having this privilege because I have explained everything in detail in my lecture number 1. So if you haven't watched that, please go and watch the lecture number 1. Okay, please do that. And please do like, share and subscribe my videos. Okay, please like and share my videos, because that is my motivation for making all such videos. So now if I want to write the y parameter, what it will be? Look very carefully. It will be ya plus yb. So that will be 5 by 11. Okay, so this is 5 4s are 20 and 3 into 3. So this will be what? This is minus 9, not 14. 14 will not come here. So 20 minus 9 is 11. So sorry, that is what I thought. Why am I getting different result? So a silly mistake that I have made is, this is my 11. Okay. So this is my 11. So now I am getting 5 by 11. What about this? It will be minus 3 by 11. Now again minus 3 by 11. I am using this formula now. I am using this formula. Okay. Sorry, this formula I am using. So this will be again what? 3 by 11 plus 1 by 11. So 4 by 11. And this all are in ohm inverse. Okay. Or moho. Moho or ohm inverse. Like we say, sab moh maya hai. So this is also that moho only. Okay. So don't get confused. Inverse of ohm is moho inverse. Moho or ohm inverse. Okay. And these were all in ohms only. Fine. So you are seeing, you are getting the same result. Same result you are getting. So that means what? Y is always equal to the inverse of Z matrix. Okay. So as simple as that. Now there is something known as reciprocity circuit and symmetric circuit. So what is reciprocal circuit and what is symmetrical circuit? We are going to see. So symmetrical circuit or symmetrical network, the name itself suggests there is some symmetricity in the network. So basically I can divide a symmetrical network into two equal halves. So if there is a circuit which I can divide in two equal halves, then such network or such circuit is known as my symmetrical network or symmetrical circuit. Now look here, look at this circuit. Okay, this first T network. So what is the definition I have written? If we can divide the given network in two equal halves, both of them being identically the same, then that is known as my symmetrical network. So this T network, can I draw it, redraw it like this? Tell me. So this is 1 ohm, this is 1 ohm, this is 6 ohm, this is 6 ohm. Okay. So now tell me, is this network, if I break this circuit from this point, okay, so are they identical? Obviously they are identical. Okay. And they are the same circuit, both of them are same circuit. So this means what? This whole network, this T network is what? it is my symmetrical network. Now what about this pi network? This pi network, it is not symmetrical. Why it is not symmetrical? Because if I write this circuit like this, if I redraw here, so if I redraw this like this, 3 by 2 ohm, 3 by 2 ohm, and this is 2 ohm and this is 1 ohm. This is not symmetrical. Why? Because if I break the circuit from this point, okay, if I break the circuit from this point, then what happens? Both the circuit, they are not identical. Suppose if this was my 1 ohm, if this was 1 ohm, then the above circuit would have been symmetrical. Okay. So this is what is meant by symmetrical circuits or symmetrical network. Now what do we mean by reciprocal network? So in reciprocal network, if we interchange the position of input and output, okay, if we interchange the position of input and output, the ratio remains the same before changing and after changing. So what do we now, the next thing is reciprocal network. So what do we mean by reciprocal network is, in a circuit, if we interchange the position of input and output, and if the ratio it remains the same before changing and after changing, then what? It is my reciprocal network. That means what? Here it is my output, this is my output, and this is my input. Here also this is my, still this position is what? Now I have interchanged the output and input positions. So here it is output, this is my input. Only thing is I have interchanged the positions. Now if Vm by In of figure A is equal to Vm by In of figure 2, okay, figure B or figure B, that means what? This network is reciprocal. Okay, so this ratio has to be maintained before and after interchanging. Okay, before and after interchanging, the ratio needs to be same. If I interchange the input and output position, still if my ratio of that remains the same, that means what? That means what? That means it is my reciprocal network. Okay. Now, what is the condition of reciprocity and symmetricity for Z parameter? Means suppose if I have a network given, a circuit given whose Z parameter and Y parameter I know. So how do we know if the circuit is reciprocal and symmetrical? Now if Z parameters are given to me such that Z12 is equal to Z21, that means what? My circuit is reciprocal. And along with this, if Z11 is equal to Z22, that means what? The circuit will be symmetrical. What about Y parameter? Y parameter is also the same. If Y12 is equal to Y21, that means what? My circuit, it will be reciprocal. And if Y11 is equal to Y22, that means what? It will be symmetrical also. So keep a note of this 2 points. It is very, very important and it might be asked in any one of the questions for HAL or HPCL. Okay, so keep this thing in your notes. Now the next important topic is H parameter or hybrid parameter. So the equation for H parameters are this one. Previously we were having inputs either all voltage or all current, or output as all voltage and all current. Okay. Now we are going to mix this. We are going to have some hybrid parameters. So in hybrid parameters or H parameter, my V1 is equal to H11 I1 plus H12 V2. So what is this equation? This is my KVL equation. So that is why we know in H parameter my input side is KVL and you can see your output side will be KCL. Your output side is written in KCL format. Why? Because I2 is equal to H21 I1 plus H22 V2. Now here my what? outputs, you can see output is my V1 and I2. Output is the set of V1 and I2. What are my inputs here? Input is my I1 and V2. They are my inputs. What are my independent and dependent variables? So independent variables are my I1 and V2. And what about dependent variables? Dependent variable is V1 and I2. Okay. So now suppose in some circuit, if I1 is function of V2 or V2 is function of I1, at that place my H parameter, it will cease to exist. Okay, H parameter, it will not exist in such cases where my input current is equal to, input current has a direct relationship with output voltage. Okay, so remember this point. Now what are the different names that has been given to all the parameters in the H matrix? So you can see H11, it is basically what? Now if I copy this, so you can see what? V1 is equal to H11 I1 plus H12 V2. So H11 is V1 by I1 when V2 is equal to 0. So this is driving point input impedance when output is short circuit. This is also conditional, and you can see as this is the same number and it is ratio of V1 V and I, so it will be impedance obviously. Now you can see what? This H12, here my numbers are different but the variables are same, it is both V. So that means what? This is a voltage gain, but the voltage gain is reversed. Why? Because normal voltage gain is ratio of output by input, but here you can see it is the ratio voltage of input by output. So that is why reverse voltage gain when my input is open circuit. This is also the ratio of current. So this, but here the number you can see is what? 2 by 1, or output port current by input port current. So this is forward current gain when output is short circuit. And I2 by V2, this is driving point output admittance, ratio of I by V, it is what? Always my admittance. Okay, so always remember this thing. These are very simple. If it is said driving point, then you must remember that there is what? There is a ratio, there is either impedance or admittance function related, and then you have to check whether your output is short circuit or your input is open circuit. Then you are going to infer whether it is H11 or H22. Okay, so if you have any doubts, what is my suggestion? You write this equation and then you check. Okay, you write this equation and then you check. Now I have already told you that V1 is equal to H11 I1 plus H12 V2. So this is my KVL equation, and I2 is equal to your KCL equation. So this is my Z parameter, sorry, my H parameter model. Here you can see this is basically what? This is a voltage controlled voltage source. Okay, voltage controlled voltage source. This is what? This is current controlled current source. Okay, this is current controlled current source, and the H parameter model is something like this. Very simple. You can see I2 is equal to H21 I1 plus H22 V2. So you can see all this thing it satisfies. Now the condition for reciprocity and symmetricity I haven't derived here. Okay, please don't think that I am not deriving here, because due to the time constraint. Okay, this is actually a kind of crash course type, so I am just writing the end result. Okay, so for condition for reciprocity in H is what? H12 should be equal to minus H21, and for symmetric the determinant of H matrix should be equal to 1. Okay, determinant of H matrix, it should be equal to 1 for symmetric, and for reciprocity H12 should be equal to minus of H21. So remember this thing. Now there is some relationship between Z, Y and H parameter. What are those? So you can see what Z, I have written all the Z parameters, all the Y parameters and all the H parameters. Okay. So now tell me what is H11? H11 you can see is V1 by I1 when V2 is equal to 0. So V2 is equal to 0 means where should I search? You know, in Z parameter it is open circuit parameter and Y parameter it is short circuit. So I will be searching in Y parameters where my V2 is equal to 0. So it is V1 by I1. Okay, H11 is V1 by I1. So here you can see V2 is equal to 0 in this position and in this position, but it is V1 by I1. So what I can do? So here you can see if I do 1 by Y11, what I will get? I will be getting V1 by I1 along with V2 is equal to 0. So this is okay. Now what about H12? H12 is when I1 is equal to 0. So this is a open circuit parameter. Open circuit, so I am going to search for it in my Z. Okay. So here you can see it is V1 by I2. Here it is V2 by I1. What I require? I require V1 by V2. I require V1 by V2. So what I am going to do now, look very carefully. Along with I1 is equal to 0, so I1 equal to 0 here and I2 equal to 0 here. So V1 by V2. So if I do Z12 by Z22, I am getting H12. What about H21? H21 you can see it is V2 equal to 0. V2 is equal to 0. So that means where I should look? I should be looking in Y parameter because it is short circuit parameter. So I2 by I1. I require I2 by I1. So how can I get that? Here you can see it is V2 equal to 0 and here it is V2 equal to 0. So I require I2 by I1. So this will be Y21 by Y11. What about H22? H22 is equal to, you can see it is V1 equal to 0. So V1 equal to 0, that means again I have to look in the Z parameter. So if I look in the Z parameter, I2 by V2 I require, ratio of I2 by V2. So I2 by V2, how I can get? I2 by V2, it is 1 by Z22 if I do. So 1 by Z22 if I do, I get the H22. So this is my basic relationship between Z parameter, Y parameter and H parameter. So in examination, I have one small trick that I want to share with you people, that you don't need to memorize this. How? Look, I will tell you. So the basic trick that I have is, you need to just memorize this too. If you memorize this too, it is okay. Now you can construct. Just on top of this, you will have Z22 only. Now you have to keep this thing constant. So Z2. Now what is the remaining thing left? So it is Z1. Okay, fine. So what about this one? Just below this 1 by Y1, it will be what? Y11. You have to again keep this thing constant here. So it will be Y1, remaining is 21. Now you can check. I am getting the same values. You can see. H12 is 1 by Z12 by Z22. You can see same thing. H21 is Y21 by Y11, Y21 by Y11, and here it will be what? H22 is 1 by Z22. So this is a very simple trick that I have made myself because I was not able to remember things, and in examination hall we are very less in time, very less with time. So what to do? I just observed this thing and then I saw that this thing, it remains the same. Okay, in this part and this part, even in this part, and this last number, it is same. Okay, in all the three you can see, here also 2, here also 2, here also 2, here 1, here 1, here 1. Bas, that's it. Very simple concept, very simple trick. Now what about H parameter of transformer? So if you calculate the H parameter of transformer, So here you can see I have broken this ratio of n by 1. So n by 1 is basically what? It is n1 by n2. n1 is what? Number of turns in the primary side of the transformer. n2 is what? Number of turns in the secondary side of the transformer. And if you write the equations, the h parameter will be something like this. Okay, h parameter is this for a transformer. You can also write using this equation, you can write, it is very simple. Okay. Now what about g parameters? I am not going to discuss that much about g parameter because it is very simple. Simply what you have to do in h parameter, replace all the v by I and I by v and you will get your h parameters. Okay. So you are seeing what? This is v1, here you can see it is I1. Here it is I1, here it is V1, here it is V2, here it is I2. So there is only interchange of V and I, and the relationship between H parameter and G parameter is what? They are inverse of one another. Okay, they are basically inverse of one another, as simple as that. So we are not going to discuss G parameter in details. Okay. Model for G parameter is also very simple. You can look at this equation. This is KCL, this is KVL. Okay, so input side KCL, so that is what you are seeing. Input side is written in current form or KCL form, output side is written in my KVL form. Okay, now the most important thing is this ABCD parameter. So ABCD parameter is very important, and ABCD parameter, it is basically used for transient analysis of transmission line. So ECE people, they know in EMFT for transient analysis of transmission line you require ABCD parameter. Even in EE also they have transient analysis of transmission line. So what is the equation for ABCD parameter? It is this equation. So V1 is equal to AV2 minus BI2 and I1 is equal to CV2 minus DI2. Okay, here my input is what? Input is this one, and what is output? Output is V2 and I2. Here the problem is that I can never make, so here my input is V1 I1, sorry, my output is for this equation, my output is V1 I1 and my input is V1 and minus I2. Now the problem with ABCD parameter is that I cannot make a equivalent model. Why I cannot make an equivalent model? Because you can see the output present here, it is actually the input, both the variables are from the input only. Both the variables from input. Previously in Z parameters, my output was what? It was V1, V2. In Y parameter, it was I1, I2. In H parameter, it was V1, I2. In G parameter, it was I1, V2. But here you can see my output, it is V1 and I1. Basically it is the same variables in the input side. So that is why I cannot create a model, I cannot construct, model is not valid in, remember this, model cannot be constructed in our ABCD parameter. Okay, so remember this thing, model cannot be constructed in ABCD parameter. So remember this point. Okay, so now this is my ABCD parameter, the matrix form. Okay, and condition for reciprocity and symmetricity is like this. Previously in H parameter, my condition for symmetricity was what? Symmetricity, it was H12 is equal to minus H21, and reciprocity, condition for symmetricity was what? Del H should be equal to 1, or determinant of H should be equal to 1, and reciprocity is equal to what? H12 is equal to minus H21. Now you can see for ABCD parameter, this is quite the reverse. Now for symmetricity, it looks somewhat like this. A is equal to D, and reciprocal, you can see what it is like symmetricity in your H parameter. Here also the determinant of the T matrix should be equal to 1 for my ABCD, means the ABCD matrix or the circuit that has been defined by the ABCD matrix to be reciprocal, and for the circuit to be symmetric, the ABCD parameters A should be equal to D. Okay. Now transmission parameter for a different circuit, if I want to write, if you just calculate it will be 1 plus Z2 by Z1, Z2 1 by Z1, and here it will be 1. So remember this circuit, it is very simple and it is used very helpful, okay, for calculating different transmission parameter for different networks. So this is very helpful. And if I calculate the transmission matrix of my transformer, now this too I am leaving as homework for you people, for calculating the T parameters for this one and T matrix for transformer. Directly I am writing the result. It will be what? 0, 0, 1 by n. Okay. So the T matrix or ABCD parameter for this transformer, it will be this. Now tell me, is this circuit reciprocal? For reciprocal, I have already told you what? Determinant of transmission matrix should be equal to 1, and here if you calculate determinant, it is coming out to be 1. So this is reciprocal. What about symmetricity? Symmetricity, A should be equal to D. Are you seeing that A is equal to D? No, A is not equal to D. So it is not symmetric. It is reciprocal but not symmetric here. Okay. Now let us see interconnection of two ports. So this is very simple. I will not be proofing anything here because this is a crash course and we are very less with time here. Okay. So interconnection of two ports, I will be just explaining you people in very brief manner. So whenever there is series connection, okay, in series connection for two network, my Z parameters they add. Why Z parameter will add in series connection? Because in series connection my current, it will remain the same. You can see I1 current is entering from this circuit, okay, from the input port. If I1 current is entering from the input port, I1 current must come out from this input side only. And the same I1, it has been connected here, which is equal to I1B. So this same current I1 is flowing through both the circuits. Similarly, here also you can see output current is same in both the ports. So that is why in series connection you need to remember, if you have two networks in series connected fashion, then their Z parameters will add each other for the equivalent circuit. Okay. Now similarly for a parallel network, for a parallel connection, my Y parameters they will add. So if here you can see what? This input voltage, it is basically the same for network A and even for network B. Even the output voltage is same for network A and network B. But current, it is divided. Previously you can see voltage, it is being divided. V1 is equal to V1A plus V2, plus V1B. Okay, you can see this. And V2 is equal to V2A plus V2B. But here you can see current is getting divided. I1 is equal to I1A plus I1B, and I2 is equal to I2A plus I2B, but voltage remains the same. So that is why in parallel connection my Y parameters they will add. Okay. Now what about in series parallel? In series parallel we have seen in H parameter, my input side is basically what? KVL. KVL means what? Series. And output side is KCL. Okay, output side is KCL, that means parallel. So if it is my series parallel connection, your equivalent H parameters will add. Okay. If it is my parallel series connection, if it is parallel series, then which parameter will add? G parameters will add. Okay. While solving questions, we will see actually all these things. So while solving questions, this will actually what? We will all put all this theory into actions. Okay. So while solving questions, we will see. It's okay means. In cascade connection, your ABCD parameters, they will add. Okay, so I forgot actually to write this thing. So this is B. So ABCD parameter of network A and ABCD parameters of network B, it will add in the cascade connections, okay, for the equivalent circuit. If I want to calculate the equivalent ABCD parameter for a cascade network, I need to calculate the ABCD parameters, okay. I need to add the consecutive ABCD parameter of network A and network B. Now there is something known as Bartlett bisection theorem. So this is very simple. Once or twice it has been asked in ESE exam. So that is why I thought I will be explaining this one in a very simple with the help of example. So where is this theorem used? It is basically used to design lattice network. Lattice network we have already seen. It was something like this. Okay, I have already discussed. So it was something like this. In the previous slides we have seen. So just please don't mind my drawing, just to give you a brief, means again a revision, quick revision. We have already seen this diagram. So where it was in, I think in Z parameter we have seen. So here it is, your lattice network. Okay, lattice network always looks like this. Okay, so always keep this thing in mind. Now suppose we have to design a lattice network for a given network. So what we need? This theorem is applicable only for symmetrical network. So if my circuit is symmetrical, then we do what? We separate the network into two equal parts. We have seen a symmetrical network can be divided into two equal halves. Okay, so we will be doing that. Suppose if I have a symmetrical network, something that looks like this. So how are we going to design the lattice network? Let us check that. So I will be dividing it into two equal halves, network A and network B. Then I am going to divide it, bisect the network in two equal parts. So first step is separating the network in two equal parts, then bisecting the network in two equal parts. Then for the third circuit, what I can see, for the third step, I need to calculate the open circuit input impedance and the short circuit input impedance. Okay, I need to calculate the input open circuit input impedance and input short circuit, means output short circuit input impedance. I need to calculate this. Then I need to place this ZAC and ZOC like this. Okay, ZSC will be placed on the top side and Z open circuit, it will placed on the inner side of the lattice network. Now one important thing they have always asked is about image impedance. Image impedance they have asked. This is one of the transmission line parameters also known as characteristics impedance. It is equal to under root of ZSC into ZOC. So now I am going to explain this with the help of an example. Okay, we are going to calculate the characteristics impedance at the end. So first step is what? Let me first divide this network. So if I divide this network, so my first step is this one only. So here it is 6, so this will be 12, 12, this is 3, all these are ohm, okay, and this is 5 ohm, 5 ohm. So I am not writing ohm every place, it's okay. Now I need to break this circuit from this position. So what I will do, simply, this is my step 2. Now I am going to bisect. So I can just copy paste, but you cannot do that. So I will just bisect this. Okay. So this is one part of the circuit, and I have another part of the circuit as well. So I am going to solve this in the next page. Okay. So step 2 up to step 2 is clear. Now what I am going to do, I am going to calculate Z in SC and ZOC. Okay. So let me do that. So first, calculation for first is what? Calculation for ZSC. So ZSC is what? It is equal to this current by voltage when this is short circuited. Okay, when this is short circuited, I need to calculate. So what I will do, now look very carefully, this is short circuited. So V by I need to calculate. So here you can see 5 and 3 they are in parallel, 5 and 3 they are in parallel, and it is in series with 12. As there is no dependent source, so all the resistor, they will be either in parallel or they are in series, as there is no dependent source here. Okay. So 5 parallel 3, and it is in series with 12. So 5 into 3 by 8 plus 12. So 15 by 8 plus 12. So this is 15 plus 96 by 8. So this will be 11, 10, 1 2 1. Okay. 1 2 1. No, sorry, 1 1 1. It will be 1 1 1. Sorry. 1 1 1 by 8. Okay. So this is the calculation for ZSC. Now sorry, I will not confuse you using this diagram. Now I need to calculate what? ZOC. Fine. So I will be again using this circuit only. So in that circuit it would have been little bit confusing. So now what will I do? With the second part that I have bisected, I need to calculate what? Calculation for ZOC. Okay. ZOC I need to calculate. So this will be open circuited, means zero current is flowing from here. So if zero current is flowing from here, it is flowing from here also zero current, no current is coming from output side. So you can see what? 3 and 12 they are directly in series. So very simple, 3 and 12 they are directly in series. So that means what? ZOC comes out to be 3 plus 12, that is 15 ohm. Now if I want to calculate, means if I want to construct my lattice network, so what I told you, where to place each of them. So this will be my, so this will be, so this position will be my ZSC, this will be ZOC, ZOC, and this is ZSC. Fine. Okay. ZSC, value of ZSC we have seen, this is ZSC, this is ZOC we can put. What about characteristics impedance? Characteristics impedance, or so what about characteristics impedance or image impedance? It is equal to ZOC into ZSC. So what is the value? This is equal to 111 into 8 into 15. So you can calculate this value and you will be getting, actually what happened, this example I generated like with me because it was from my side only. So actually what happened, I randomly made this example. Okay. So that is why the values are not proper, and you can see you are getting something that you are not getting directly. Okay. So it is like that. So if means in examination hall, if they give you some values, it will not be like this. Okay. you can directly calculate the square root, it will be a value like that. So with this actually we complete our 2-port network. So I will tell you, if you have any doubts or any problem in understanding some part, just comment in the comment section below and I will get back to you surely. I hope you enjoyed the session, you liked the session. If you do so, please like, share and subscribe our channel, and I will request you to please share my videos, okay? So that will be helpful to other aspirants also. So then, okay, see you in the next session. Thank you.